I've been through so much to get where I am today. And if you can't relate to that, why am I going to just give you my vote?
They need your vote, though. They need your vote. You a brother. They need you.
They play the brown and black card very heavy.
It's becoming more normal that we just don't want to vote anymore.
The election's today. You're going in there. What you doing?
Hold on, Ray. Is Kamala black? Yes or no?
Is Donald Trump a racist? Hey everybody, I'm Joel D. Smith.
And I am Evan Mack.
I tell you what, I've been in journalism a long time.
Yeah.
But usually you get like a 10-second soundbite on something, maybe 8 seconds. The best conversations I've ever had in my career have been off the air because they're real, they take time.
They're real, people are more vulnerable, more open to talk to you. And when the camera's, they don't know the camera's on, they kind of just have casual conversations.
All right, we're gonna have the camera on, but we're gonna lull them to sleep and they're gonna forget what's going on. And you think we can get some real conversations out of this?
I think we can get the real of the real of the real.
Okay, that's what we really need. And we're gonna get to some interesting stuff, maybe a little bit controversial.
Yeah.
See what you think, because we're gonna take our time. We are going off the air right now. Raymond Perez, this your place, right?
Yes, sir.
How long you been here?
Going on 6 years in November.
Okay. Is this the kind of place people can really speak their mind?
Yes.
Do you encourage that?
No holds barred.
No holds barred. Does it ever get heated? Do people get into it?
It gets escalated, but we are men in here, so I've made this culture in here.
Yeah.
To where, like, don't get that far.
Okay.
You get arguments and, loud, but that's probably about it.
All right, so let's start the conversation with something easy. LeBron or Jordan? Let's go.
You started on the wrong one.
I'm kidding, but my point is, in a barbershop, you can get anything, right?
Yeah, anything. Anything. That is probably the most heated argument in the shop. I'm just letting you know.
I don't know where I stand on this, but we'll see where things end up. Let's get into the real reason we're here. Hey, we're talking politics, Yeah. I'm a politics guy, but I also like, some other things. But here's the thing. A lot of political experts think they know what's going on. We got all men in here, primarily, men of color. How much do you guys talk politics? Does it come up a lot?
Regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they happy with the political culture right now?
No one is.
What's wrong?
We're in a situation right now where the country is being forced to have the lesser of two evils. And I think the country as a whole is getting tired of it. We have people that are qualified to lead this country, younger, more in touch with what's going on the ground. So I think everybody's just tired.
Some people maybe just gonna say, I don't like anybody, I'm just not voting.
I hear that with a lot of the younger kids especially,
Yeah.
where they say, I don't even want to vote. And I tell them, I'm like, just go out there and, even if you want to write in the ballot. Right. Do your duty.
And there's other races to vote for. It's not just the top. I know that gets all the attention.
Yeah.
Evan, what are you hearing over there with people with your crew that you're sitting with?
You're 18, right?
Yeah.
So as a person that's just fresh into being a registered voter, are you motivated by that? Do you agree with Ray? Do you think you need to be? Are you put it like this? What do you feel like is the problem as far as the country goes and politicians go? Are the people too old, or are you looking for someone different? You were the 4 years of Joe Biden's career. You were 14 years old.
Yeah.
So from then until now, where's your mindset right now?
It's the constant that I'm hearing from all my friends is we need someone who's younger, and knows what they're even doing. I mean, just recently, Joe had to be pushed by everyone he knows to step down because, the amount of stuff online I see about, people making fun of him just because they think, he has dementia or, he has so many things wrong with him because in the debate, there's many, things that you could take of just him, looking around, not knowing what to do.
I got a question for you about the debate.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
Or did you watch the highlights?
I watched all of it.
You watched all of it. Do you think most people watched all of it? No, you see the highlights. And where do you get your information from? Online media, right? Right. So that's where you're getting your information from. Do you trust everything that you're getting?
Not too much, no.
No. Have you always been that way, or you kind of came to that? Let's come back over here. The economy seems to be a big topic that the political experts will tell you is going to help decide this election.
Yeah.
Is it on your mind as a business owner?
As a business owner, all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, because I see it, in my shop, how the economy plays out in the sense of my clientele, how busy we are. They're talking about it, and also you can see there's stuff going on around, less and less traffic, in the sense of financial transactions.
Yo, Ray, you from the hood though.
Yep.
So your perspective is did your political perspective shift because you're in a different income bracket than you were when you were a kid? Because a lot of that times that happens.
obviously.
You know what I mean? You start off as a Democrat because you're told as a brown skinned person to be a Democrat.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden you start putting money in your pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Walking
grew
around
up-
with the Yankee fitted. You know what I mean?
I grew up in a liberal city,
So
liberal
now-
household. That was like, I always say we've been indoctrined.
Yeah.
And and that was several generations of my family. And as I went into the military, college, had kids, became a business owner, my viewpoints completely changed. I'm more in the middle now, if anything, and I see things completely different than when I did when I was at 18, 25, 30, 35. I'm 45 now.
Do you think Democrats take your vote for granted?
Yes, they do. I obviously feel that way because I've heard things, seen things, and experienced things through all these political races since I was 18 where they play the brown and black card very heavy all the time. And they try to get things to shift and move with things that are unimportant. Like I've seen like when they, all the Democrats had wore all the African wardrobe, it was the incorrect wardrobe. Like, you didn't even ask questions.
I think I remember that.
Yeah,
Did Pelosi do that too?
Yeah,
I think everybody
Pelosi,
was there.
And it's like, you didn't even do your homework.
But on the same respect, do you think Republicans have reached out to try to capture the black vote or the Latino vote at all?
I would say more recently, yes. In the past, no. More recently, yes. I can see that. But
Okay.
in the past, no.
That's your take. What's going on over there when it comes to Democrats maybe taking it off for granted for a while?
What do you feel like that? Because as I gotten older, like I said, I'm twice your age. So I used to grow up. It's been ingrained in my mother and father. Like you're black, you're a Democrat. That's a thing, in the community. You know what I mean? But as I got older, I realized that I feel like they care more about our vote as opposed to our situations.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like for a younger man. Like, what is your thought process on? Because your vote is powerful. You're one person, but that one vote carries a lot of weight, and they want your vote based on how you look. Do you feel that? Do you feel like the Democrats are taking your vote for granted?
Yes.
Why? So you say the same thing Ray say, two different generations, but why do you feel that way though?
For a long time, they've always tried to it's like in Harrisburg too, tried to specifically go for people who are like us all the time, because you're already Democrats. Like why wouldn't you not vote for us? Why wouldn't you? But it's becoming more normal that we just don't want to vote anymore because not enough is being passed or written in to even help us as people.
Yeah, things aren't being done for us.
Yeah.
They just ask for our votes, but they're actually nothing being done for us. And this is going generations and generations and generations.
So I want to get into that a little bit. What do you want politicians to do for you? How much of it is stay out of my way so I can live my own life and do my thing versus the government has a role to help me get to where I want to go
Yeah,
faster or better?
I think it's on both parts. Like you obviously have to do the legwork and being successful in life in any degree, but our politicians, our leaders in this country definitely have a part in that too, in the sense of creating opportunities and doors for us to get through or achieve for. I was telling somebody the other day, it's something as simple as like a change that happened when Biden came into office. There was promises of a bill being passed to protect black and brown people against discriminatory stuff. Nothing was done, but as soon as somebody beat up an Asian person, there was a bill passed immediately. And I know why that happened, but it's unfair, to us as people, that you protect the Asian people in this country, but not us. And we're going through similar situations, if not worse, And for me, it made me feel some type of way.
Well, so you're educated, brother, man. One of the things that bothered me when I went back to school is repaying the school. You know what I mean? Like I know so many people I know overseas where they get to go to school and it's all paid for. They don't deal with that kind of stress. You as a young brother trying to educate yourself, trying to become a better professional, what do you feel like Democrats have lived up to that promise of the student debt, the loan forgiveness? How do you feel like that? Does that drive you or motivate you on where you're gonna vote?
No. No, because at the same time, as a black man, I still feel like I have to pave my own way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I gotta get out here, I gotta work, I have to put myself out there to be successful for myself.
So you don't feel, even in this day and age, do you feel like you're in a better space as a black man than yesteryear? You know what I mean? I know you're younger, but you still see what's going on. What's it like? Because going to university still, do you feel like you're still marginalized? Do you feel like you're getting on equal footing? What's that like being someone that's trying to educate themselves?
I feel like I have a lot of opportunities than to see people that came before me. Like there's a lot I can do opposed to generations down my line that came before me. But when it comes to politics, Democrat and Republican, I grew up in a household where my dad is like, I don't like Republicans, you're a Democrat.
Absolutely right.
So I've abstained from politics. I don't care to vote. I don't want to vote. Because I see it on the media, I see it online. It's very hostile.
Like to the point where we're separating ourselves because of our opinions and beliefs in a political system or someone we may like. So automatically, if you vote for Biden or you support Biden, you're a bad person. If you do it for Trump, it's a bad person, and it creates an atmosphere for them.
Or if you go for Trump, you automatically racist.
You automatically racist.
Automatic off top.
And it's crazy. It's crazy to think like that, you know. Just for
In
me.
here, does that turn into that? I mean, because here's the thing: we got a real conversation going right now.
Yeah.
It's beyond just like you're wearing a red hat that says MAGA on it, and I think I know everything about you, versus someone who might vote in the other direction. Do you think we're that far apart from each other that it is all or nothing? That if you voted for somebody, you must be against me?
No, it's not like I talk to people like this all the time. Like it don't matter who we've created that. We've allowed them to create that atmosphere where we're hostile towards each other because of these things. They made it like a fan club, like two wrestlers in the ring. I'm a Rock fan, I'm a Steve Austin fan, and
You have attitude there. I see you.
yeah, it's hostile. You know what I'm saying? It becomes hostile.
Well, and it's like jerseys. You got a blue jersey or red jersey, and it's all or nothing, win or loss, rather than just like, hey, my ideas might be a little bit different than yours. Who do you like more?
Yeah.
Hey, here's a good question. Are you voting for personality or are you voting for policy? Let's just do a raise a hand on that. Who votes for personality?
Is charisma playing a factor?
Nope.
Nobody. All right, so you're voting for policies
Yes.
at this point. Okay,
Yes.
good. Are you voting for? Well, let's go to something else. How about celebrities? They like to endorse. They like to be part of the process. Do you pay attention to when they endorse? Does it mean anything to you?
No.
No.
So like we were talking about The Rock a little bit. Like as much sway as he has and much cachet as he has, he wouldn't his star power doesn't sway your vote as a brother.
No. What about LeBron?
What about you? No. Tell me why. Tell me why you two gentlemen. Tell me why they don't sway your votes, especially like a brother like LeBron, outstanding brother in the community, does a lot of things for his people. But why wouldn't he sway your vote if he was like, yo, if he came in this barbershop and was like, yo, like, I want you to vote this way? Why wouldn't that sway you?
For me, it would have to make sense to me. You would have to show me something. Why is this going to be good for my community and me as a black man? How is this going to benefit me and my people?
Not just for his word.
Not just his word.
I feel the same way.
Damn.
Like, why would I vote?
Just based on what you're telling me to do.
Just based off, like, you play basketball.
But people are so heavily influenced by people, like commercials, and that's why these people get paid millions of dollars. They get paid millions of dollars to tell you what to do, what to buy, what clothes to wear. But when it comes to voting, the buck stops for you. Yeah. That's impressive, man.
Well, the other thing is, so the Republican National Convention was recently run. They could put anybody up there to speak. They chose Amber Rose. They're trying to reach a different group than they traditionally get. Did they reach your group? At least not in here, right? Do you think any of your friends, are they influenced by this kind of stuff? Maybe you guys are in a different level here, but I mean, you also have friends that maybe are convinced by little stuff and they don't, think as deeply maybe, or maybe not.
No. See, that's what's surprising because the perception, especially in the community, I think a lot of people think, just like Joel was saying, that a lot of people don't respect the voters and voters' intelligence. They feel like they're gonna bring out Kid Rock, they're gonna bring out Hogan. Yeah. He gonna rip his shirt off, and you're gonna be like, that's the kind of guy I want to vote for. But that you're telling me that's not how. If y'all young whippersnappers ain't thinking like that no more, I'm very impressed. Because I'm thinking the youth is doomed. Y'all giving me hope.
How about you guys?
They're trying to sort of like pull at the appeal of like people who want this type of stuff. Because why? It's a Republican National Convention. Why would you bring out Hulk Hogan? For what reason does that bring in people for your side? He's up there like running his mouth about stuff.
It's because the American people are heavily influenced by celebrities, sports, athletes, everything. And it's gotten to a point where we're like being led by them. It's scary.
The other piece is a lot of times it's motivation, not influence, right? So they're not necessarily reaching out to the undecided voter. They want to motivate their own people as much as possible. And if this is going to motivate them, they'll take it, even if it turns off some other people. Because, I mean, I think we're fighting for this middle ground of a sliver of people that haven't decided what they're going to do.
Absolutely.
And so how do you find them? And that becomes the challenge. What about immigration? Immigration, is that on your radar? We'll start with you. Immigration and how it's going right now.
Yes, it's on my radar. It's not big on my radar, but it definitely is on my radar because it's affecting where I grew up at, New York City. It's affecting my family there. I serve this country. I completely believe in everything we stand on and stand for, what we were built on. We were built on immigration. But what we're doing right now is scary. We're allowing an unbelievable amount of undocumented people coming into this country, and we're seeing the effects of it in New York City right now, in Chicago.
Just overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Not only are you dealing with trying to help people who actually need help, but you're dealing with criminals coming in, gang members, everything.
On a scale of 1 to 10 then, how big of a topic is that when it comes to who you will vote for?
Right now, because it's escalated to that point where it's overflowing in these cities, it definitely plays a part in who I'm going to vote for.
So a little bit higher.
Yeah.
What about over there?
Ray, real quick, Ray. A lot of people don't know, brother, because a lot of people don't know what you are, brother. You have a different perspective. You know what I mean? Like, can you tell the people at home what you are? Because you have a different perspective that a lot of people don't have.
I don't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a black and Puerto Rican man. 4 children, married for 25 years. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York City. Life was different for me. I grew up in the projects, very poor, waiting online for cheese and bread and stuff like that. And it was a bad situation growing up. So serving in the military, going to college, opening a business now, being a community leader, I mentor kids in middle school. I do homeless work with veterans. Like, my perspective on everything has completely shifted.
And that's my point, though, fam. That's what I'm talking about. Because people are like, why are you talking about immigration the way you are? Because you look at it from a different perspective, not just as a soldier, but as someone in that community that has seen that.
Yeah, my ex-wife is from Ecuador.
You see what I'm saying?
A lot of my family's from Dominican Republic, different places, Puerto Rico. Obviously.
So why aren't you like, yo, bring them all in?
Because it's not efficient for our country, in a sense of bring everybody in. I don't have a problem with bringing people in and helping them and taking care of them. But let's do it in a safe way, in a way where we can monitor everybody that's coming in. Because you don't know who's coming in. You really don't know who's coming in if they're undocumented. And then when you put in policies or situations like New York City where you're arresting people for doing crimes, and because they're undocumented, you're just letting them go. That is a crazy situation for people in this country.
At the end of the day, listen, as much as it pains me, y'all going to inherit the future. You know what I mean? Y'all got me feeling optimistic, but I'm still scared.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
But no, for real though. Does that bother you? Because that's a hot button issue that they're trying to push though. They're pushing that issue every time you turn on the news. They're trying to make voters say there are crazy people coming in, there's violent people that come in, there's murderers coming in. Does that? Because you say you might not even vote. Does that affect you at all as far as where your mind might go if you do go to those ballots?
It affects my mind as far as the future. Like, where are we going and what are we heading towards? Because I'm going to piggyback off Ray. You never know who you got coming in and who you're letting in. I don't mind helping people, but I want to do it in a safe way.
Absolutely right.
Because if it gets out of hand, what's going to happen?
You're giving them money, places to stay. I've heard of veterans, homeless veterans that have gone to these hotels and these locations and asked for places to stay, and they've been turned away because they're not undocumented. You know, like that's crazy to me that people who have served this country, like me, cannot have a place to stay, cannot get this help, the same kind of resources. It's crazy.
That's where a lot of frustration comes in. That's what I hear most of. I hear a lot of stuff like that as far as benefits being given to an undocumented person over like an American. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when I start hearing people be like, okay, hold on, that does bother me.
So not only we have people coming into country and we're taking money and pumping it into people coming into this country, but we're also pumping money into other countries, but we're not taking care of the people here.
What's going on in Ukraine is crazy.
It's crazy.
But they're giving so much money over there, man.
But you don't have money to help anybody out here.
Like billions of dollars. And me and my wife just came back from LA, man, where I'm telling you right now, I've never seen more homeless people in Los Angeles in my life, though. And there's zero money going to them. Well, you know what I mean?
There is, but it's like how to do it and how to do it fairly, and all that is vicious.
Yes.
International politics. Like, you're into it. I want to know if you're into it. 18. Are you into international politics? With Ukraine, Gaza?
The moment that like Putin like invades, I'm like, what is going on?
What's going on? Yeah.
Because like in my time, we've been close to like, what's gonna happen here? Is it gonna escalate? Is it gonna get higher? With North Korea, that was a whole situation that happened. That was a whole thing. But like with Ukraine, it's like we pledge to help them, and sometimes we do, but we also have to think about what's happening here, and also the amount of stuff that we're giving away.
Are you worried about anybody overseas? Do you worried about Russia coming over here? You worried about North Korea doing anything? You worried about any of these countries with the hostility towards Americans? Are you worried about the shores being invaded by anybody?
Not much, no.
No.
It still feels like it's out there, but we do know good versus bad are allies. We got to take care of things and be a good partner when it comes to that stuff.
Hate us, but they hate us, but they still want our help, though.
Yeah.
They always they hate on America, but they like, yo, can y'all come over real quick?
All right, let's get real here.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Right. That could be it. And you know what? That comes to this. As bad as some topics are, as frustrating as our world is, our country is there a country you would rather be in at this point?
Oh.
If it's just a living, I've lived in other countries because obviously I was in the military, but just to live in, one thing in the sense of just myself. But like to raise my family and everything, I love my country. This is everything to me. I don't think people understand the luxuries we have in this country. They say freedoms, but it's more luxuries. And it's because I've been to third world countries. I've been to countries where I tell somebody something as simple as this. You and I, we brush our teeth in the morning. We can let the water run or we can cut it off. Something as simple as that. Some people don't even have water to drink.
It's all perspective, right?
It's perspective. You know?
Yeah. Same question about, America. Is this the place you think is the best versus the rest?
Would you any place you'd rather be if you could set up shop?
Nah, I'll be right here.
All right.
Definitely, I'll be right here.
All right.
Notice I asked it like that instead of, are you proud to be an American? Now I'm going to ask that. Are you proud to be an American?
I know I am. 100% till
we got
till
you.
I drop.
Listen,
This right here is everything to me. This and that flag, that's everything to me.
I was in the middle. I was in the middle of Paris on the honeymoon. I was wearing a red, white, and blue flag shirt. I put a target on my back, Joel D. I had a flag shirt on.
Let's go.
I was strolling by.
They lucky you didn't have a mullet.
Bro, I was walking by the Louvre, Bray, and I had the shirt. My wife was like, "You are out of your mind." I'm like, "I don't give a damn. If you want to get an American today, you can get one because I am one."
Yeah. Nah, I feel you. I feel you.
All right, my fellow Americans. Then let's get into this.
We the people, Joe D.
All right. So
We are the
we
people.
got a new candidate, Kamala Harris. Okay. Is Kamala going to make you a little more likely or less likely to vote Democrat?
Hold on, wait, first, Ray, hold on, Ray. Is Kamala black? Yes or no?
I'm going to let her speak on that. But to me, no.
Oh. Is Kamala black? Yes or no?
I share that same view.
Wow. Is Kamala black? Yes or no?
I heard she was. I heard she's half black and half Asian.
It feel like she black when she want to be. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be honest.
I feel that same.
Huh?
Because
Wow.
Yeah, she uses the black card when she have to.
Wow, it's huge. I'm just saying, I've heard this is huge.
Okay,
Man.
so that's interesting. My follow-up question is, does it matter?
At this point, no. I think America's. I tell people this right now. If you really want change in this country, you would not be voting for either of the lesser of two evils. So, like, if we at that point, if we truly at that point as Americans, then we know what we need to do.
But I'm talking about this. We're debating her ethnicity.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And we're hedging, right? Maybe. Does it matter? If
It
we
doesn't
do-
matter.
If she came out tomorrow and was like, yo, I'm black.
That don't mean nothing to me. Obama was black.
Right. Doesn't mean anything to you.
Wow. Wow.
Now, hold on. Do you think, though, let's flip it a little bit further. Does a black candidate, maybe, even if it's 10% or 5% or maybe even more, maybe understand your background, your needs better than a candidate who's not?
If they've come from our background.
Well, so let's get away from that. Let's say it is a black candidate.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you vote for someone who's a black candidate over a white candidate if they have the same issues? And they're no different on the issues, but one's black, one's white. Do you favor the black candidate because of like those reasons? Maybe they understand my situation better, understand me better.
Yeah, are you relating to somebody more just based on if they kind of resemble what you look like? Does that inherently make you want to vote for them?
if they come from my same type of background, like
Just like Ray said, like so they really gotta be they just can't be black. They
You
gotta
can't just be black.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you have to come from my background.
Wow.
You have to understand what it is to be poor, to fight for everything,
Wow.
to get where like I've been through so much to get where I am today. And if you can't relate to that, why am I going to just give you my vote? Why am I going to support you?
I'm
so
with-
a white
I'm with
person,
you though, bro.
hold on. So a white person just comes through all of that versus a rich black person.
That white person, if he's going through the same thing
the-
that I've gone
from
through,
the hood.
he from the hood, he from the trailer parks, he from the bottom, bro, you got my vote because you understand where I come
That's
from.
what I always say. I'm a
I
blue,
try to
blue
tell
collar,
people,
blue
but
collar.
I grew up in New York City. There was no color in the hood.
Right. Right. Where I grew up, we didn't discuss it. It
Yeah,
wasn't.
it
a
was
thing.
never talked about.
It wasn't a thing. I mean,
Yeah.
and that may be a generational thing.
Yeah.
But there was a time period, I would say after civil rights and before woke, where it kind of
woke-
wasn't discussed very
You know
much.
how well Joe D, but race is brought to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people bring you to race.
Yeah.
Remember when you were a kid, they knew you didn't care about your friend in the sandbox being black or white or Asian. Someone brings that to you one day, and you're like, wait, what?
Right. Well, and social media brings it to you every day.
Yeah, every
You
day.
know, whether you're asking for it or not. And
Yep.
if you're looking for it, you'll find it.
Yeah, that's race bait central right there.
Right. So
Social media,
I know. Oh my goodness.
that's race bait
It
central.
is the worst. All right. So let's talk about Donald Trump.
Okay.
Is he a racist?
I'm gonna let everybody speak before I speak on that.
All right. So hold on. You're in here.
That's a great question.
Is Donald Trump a racist?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Until I see something for myself that would paint in my mind or give me the information, the evidence, hey, he's racist, I would say yes. But currently, that man hasn't done anything or said anything that made me look at him and go, oh, he's a racist.
If you ask social media, is he a racist? Is it a little more clean?
Oh yeah, it's clean cut.
Yeah. What's happening over there?
Now listen, what do you think? Because you know, racism, being a racist by definition is feeling your race is superior to the other race. Because I think people get racism and prejudice mixed up. So do you? Because saying someone's racist, that's what everyone says. But does he do? Because a lot of brown skin people favor other brown skin people. Does that make them racist? But what do you think when you hear that question? Is Donald Trump racist? What's the first thought that comes in your mind?
It has been painted in the media for him, like because like they take sound bites of him, they take about his speeches, and they can turn them into like him targeting one specific type of race in a sense like that. But like him, like unless there's a defining image of him being racist, then he's racist to me.
Donald Trump racist?
think he's racist. That's my honest opinion.
Tell me why.
Um,
Because I'm not saying you're wrong. This is what we're just talking.
I think he's racist because he doesn't do much for us, and I mean I can't. He don't do much for us as for the black people. He don't got no respect for nobody. I just don't like the man, honestly. I think he's a joke, honestly.
This is
my opinion.
This is why we're having this conversation.
Yeah, like, and sometimes I just can't watch him. Like I just turn my TV off, honestly.
If you feel that you feel in your heart he don't like you as a brother, I felt like that in a person I've never met before. I'm like, if I seen a person that talks to me a certain way, I'm like, he don't like me. I'm like, he don't like me because I'm black. I felt like that my whole life with certain people.
That's right.
I'm going to be brutally honest. I work for this man. I work for the Trump Park condominium. I did private security for him. And if you actually work for this man, you will see he has one of the most diverse companies you can work for. I'm talking about from Polish to Dominican to Russian, you name it, they work for him. And he treats them all well. He treated me like a king. Like, I've been around this man, you know, and he's always been good. I've watched him in New York City. Every rapper in New York City has mentioned this man for a reason. Because he does do things in the community.
It's funny you say that.
If you pay attention to his presidency, he did do stuff for historical black colleges and inner city, things like that. So like, this is what I tell people, like, get to know the person first. Do your homework, you know?
Ray, you're making a good point. Because things shifted because he was a celebrity everybody loved. And then when he picked a side, he ran a great campaign.
Yep.
There's more people that targeted that resonated with him, so he went with that. But I remember this story. Take this for what it's worth. I remember way back, years ago, way before this president stuff, there was a brother that either pushed a woman out of the way in the subway in New York, or he like fell on top of her and protected her from getting ran over by a train, right? He was I think he got the key to the city, but Trump like heard about this, he's a black dude, and gave him like a whole bunch of money.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
But just take that for what it's worth. I just thought it was very interesting that randomly, unprovoked, he heard about the story. He just handed the brother
a lot of people
a whole
don't
bunch of
know
money.
this.
Listen, if I don't like somebody's color, I ain't giving them no damn money.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know
weird to me.
that he financed a lot of the old school rappers' rap careers. That's why they mentions his name.
I'm just saying.
But with all that, he doesn't communicate that stuff very well at all.
Yeah, I don't feel like you. This is me as a man. I told this to him. We talk all the time. I tell him this all the time. As a man, the truth. Like I always tell people, I know my truth. I shouldn't have to explain every little thing to someone.
But you're not running for president.
Exactly. But this, my honest opinion, why Americans hate him so much. I'm gonna tell you this: you got to look in the mirror, and then you hate yourself. You know why? Because this man wakes up every day just like the rest of us, puts his shoes and his pants on, he goes to work, he comes home, says hi to his family, have dinner, then what does he do like every other American? Jump on social media and talk it.
Same thing as everybody else do.
So you hate yourself.
Check it
That's
out.
how I look at it.
Great. Should he put it like this? My mom always say, my daddy always say, you ain't gotta say everything.
You don't gotta say everything.
Like so, like if I got that piece of advice, like damn, the president of the United States.
Yeah.
Sometimes you shouldn't just say whatever.
Yeah. And I'm not a supporter of his, but I also feel like,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm not a supporter of his, but I also feel like he's being mistreated very unfairly.
Hang on a second. I need to give him this, and you have to fill this out as well.
Okay.
All right. Here's your pen. Here's yours.
All right.
Okay. You got pens for these guys? Cool. All right.
Let's write and cut at the same time.
Everyone's gonna put their
Right and cut.
I'm him. Let's go.
Boy, he can right and cut.
Okay.
Back to like barbershop.
Don't show anybody else. Okay. This is your answer. All right. Here is the question. Scale of 1 to 10. How much does race impact your life on a daily basis? 1 is never. Very good. 10 is all the time. Cool. All right. We're just going to go around the room. We'll start with you. We got a 2 right here.
Yep.
Okay. I think it's kind of self-explanatory with what you've said so far.
Yeah.
What's going on? Let me get the mic for you. What'd you write down? 7. Wow. What kind of ways? What comes to mind when I ask that question?
I think about my life in general as I've been in PA. Prior to this, I grew up in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm an Army brat. So when I moved up here in 2011, I've never experienced racism because growing up in the educational system, I've always been taught that the slaves migrated up north to escape down south because they were able to be free up north. So when I get up here, I was amazed to be discriminated against in 5th grade, going on to high school and middle school.
What does discriminated against in school mean? What would that look like?
To me, it just felt like profiling. Sometimes I wasn't able to go to the bathroom. I wasn't able to do certain things that other kids that were white were doing, get on their phones, play on their phones,
Okay.
or just talking. I've always been singled out. I feel like in the education system.
Still happening?
No.
Okay. So I like that you gave some history to it. But right now, what would your number be in terms of today or
Right
yesterday
now.
or tomorrow? How much is it a part of your life?
I would still probably say about a 7 because I have to move a certain way being black.
No question.
I have to move a certain way. I have to talk a certain way. I have to be educated. I have to put on a certain kind of face and a certain kind of tone.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, then I'm gonna be portrayed or looked at a certain kind of way. Even before I'm already stereotyped. Oh, he's black. He could be aggressive. You know, I work in Sam's Club at a grocery store. So people are scared to ask me where things are, scared to ask me questions. They seem real timid when they walk up to me, women, white women, grasping their purses. Like, you don't know me.
Yeah, I agree with him wholeheartedly.
All the time.
Because I deal with it as a business owner. Same things. I have to move a certain way, act a certain way, move accordingly. I've even proven it to my barbers. I've helped a gentleman open his business in Mechanicsburg, and he's been treated completely different than I have. And I actually help the community at mentorship. I help homeless people, and it's not recognized. There's no effort being put into it. But this gentleman just showed up, and he's being recognized at high schools. Like, everything's different.
So you're saying it's a similar feel.
Yeah.
You wrote it too.
Two, because of this, because it doesn't affect me every day.
Okay.
Because I'm here, I'm focused on my business, I'm focused on the people I take care of and the people in the community. I don't have time to be worried about who look at me sometimes.
But it's still there.
It's still there.
Right.
Yeah.
I got you. Let's head over here.
Did you put my brother?
I put an 8.
One step above at 7. What's your thought process? What's your experience? Why do you feel that way?
Same thing, kind of like what the gentleman said, and that's getting his haircut. Like when you're going around people, like certain women and stuff like that, grocery store, especially like my job now. I go, I deliver pretzels in the morning from 4 to 10, and
Right.
when I'm going inside offices, elevators with people that are grabbing their purses or
The purse grab, still a thing,
things
huh?
like that. And then I got a 5-year-old son. I think about him and what his future is going to be like too, like with the whole race thing and everything like that. So I just make sure I do the, just play it right.
Absolutely.
So
Evan, you want to go?
Yeah, I put a 5. I'm right in the middle. Because I feel the same way. It's unbelievable. We were talking about different things this whole time, but the one thing we all universally agreed on was this right here. We were all shaking our heads based on what they were saying. We all shake it, and that's wild to me because we come from different places, different ages, different times. But I said a 5 just because I feel that I still have to be a certain way. For example, if I dress like this, I'm treated a certain way. But if I wear a suit, I'm treated completely different now. Call it whatever you want to call it. I've figured I'll come in with sweats, I get followed around. I come in with a 3-piece on, they think I run the place. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, but what I'm trying to say is I'm more comfortable dressing like this. But I've realized that I have to be a little more conscious of my tone of voice, how I talk, when I talk, where I talk. I'm perceived as aggressive. I'm having a healthy conversation with one of my former employers, and I was like, I didn't agree. I was being contentious. I was talking like this when I was being contentious.
You're a little loud,
So
Evan.
yes. So what's my conclusion? My conclusion is because I'm a brother. You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
For me,
What number did you write down?
1.
Okay.
I love I love this.
My community, mainly Carlisle, is really what you would say like as a mixing pot of just so many different colors that we don't view that.
So we're not saying it's non-existent, but that's why I wanted to get a feel for that. And I think this is the reason why. This is a big reason we're doing this story, right? Different experiences, all living in the same area. And yet politicians think, oh, we need to get the black vote. what does that mean? Everybody's the exact same. Everybody votes the exact same. Everyone feels the exact same. Even within this small group here, we got a lot of different opinions, and that's what we're trying to show right here. One thing I wanted to get into with this, even though we got an 8, a 7, and some similar experiences here, do you think that we haven't come anywhere as a country? Or do you still recognize we've come a long way, but look what's left?
We still have a lot to go. We've come a long way, but we still have a lot
Would
to
you
go.
agree would you agree people of color in the best position we've ever been in?
Today, yes.
Yeah.
I tell you, but I'm the American dream. Where I came from to where I'm at today is unbelievable. I thought 18 I'd be dead, 21 I'd be dead. Then I joined the Army. I'm gonna be dead. My life expectancy in the military was 3.5 seconds. I'm here still, I'm 45, I got to raise kids. This country has given me the ability to create opportunities for myself. Yeah, like, definitely way better than what my dad and my grandfather and other people before us had to go through. Definitely more opportunities, more freedom in the sense of being able to move around. But there's definitely a lot of work to be done
Sure.
still. Yeah.
It's never over. It's never over. But it's, we also, I think, recognize where we've come from and not dismiss that either. Both things can be true. All right. We're now to the moment of truth. We're going to ask you to say at this moment in time, if the election was today, are you voting for Trump, Harris, or nobody? And we are going to start with you. The election's today.
Nobody. Nobody.
They
You
need
gotta earn
your
your
vote,
vote.
though. They need your vote. You a brother. They need you. They want your vote.
See, and that's the thing, like, growing up, even now, it's like, people have laid down their lives for you to be able to vote. I kind of, at this point, I feel like it's being forced down my throat. I don't want to be educated about it, because then it's like, it's just so much hate. You got to pick a side.
But to your point, they laid down their lives for your right to vote, my friend. So that doesn't mean you have to vote. Well, our people died for equal footing. You got it. So now it's your choice. You don't have to vote.
Yeah.
I would point out there's some things down ballot you might want to get into as well. You can leave the top. Away, but there's your local representatives, and they kind of affect your life more directly. So you may want to consider that. All right, the election's today. You're going in there. What you doing?
I'm not voting for neither, but I wouldn't mind if Trump won, but I'm voting for Kennedy. Like, honestly, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You went the other direction. I did not give you that. That was very astute of you. If you want to go Green Party, I will allow it. For you, the election is today.
I would have to say nobody. Wow. Just because I haven't been paying attention at all this year, honestly. And then I know Biden just dropped, so it's not like I'm just going to go vote for Trump. Maybe if he had something that he would do or...
So it looks like they have okay, I said today's the election. It's actually not. So they have time. You're saying you're up for grabs. You could vote for someone if you were inspired to.
Yeah, if I was inspired to. There you go. There you go.
Okay. We're going to leave you blank on this. We're going to come over to you.
Today.
Neither.
So we have 4 people on the record here, and nobody is voting for Harris or Trump in this group. Wow.
Incredible stuff, man.
Wow.
Do they got time? Do they got time to get you, though? It's like 100-some days.
And you said RFK is about to run, or?
He
I'm gonna write him in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write him in.
I
wouldn't mind
on
if-
the ballot, probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if Trump's president, but I think America needs change, and real change is not one of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Both.
Okay.
I mean, Kamala raised $8 million in like in the last.
It was actually $250 million in one.
Yeah,
That's
like, so much money,
crazy.
and like she's already gotten enough delegates to like be the nominee
Yes.
officially. But the biggest, and with Trump, I mean, he's still banking off of what happened over the weekend, because like his like his entire platform now is on fire. Both of them are on fire right now. But the biggest thing is we have probably a continuation of Biden's policies, or we have
Wow.
2 agendas that really could mess everything up that we have.
Wow.
I mean, like with 47, and then the project that is going to, if done, drastically change everything that we know as a country.
Wow.
So it's not of
But so based on that, though, you seem like you know what you're talking about. You've done some research on it, but you're still willing to allow that to happen if it does. You're going to stand by and say, "My fellow Americans, you vote, and I will deal with the consequences either way. I'm not going to influence it."
Our system is entirely
Broken.
flawed as an entire
Completely
thing. Why
broken.
should we have to choose between a party that's so radicalized now and one that's so far left that you can't choose what
Damn.
you want to do?
That's
agree.
well
I
said,
agree.
brother. Well said, man.
Yeah.
Well said.
And then
All right, hey.
every lower party doesn't even have a say in anything.
And they don't got a shot either.
Yeah. RFK Jr. had to stream himself alongside the debate and answer the questions by himself.
Yep.
With a name everybody knows already. So if somebody who didn't have that, even less, right? Okay. Wow. All right. Hey, this was worthy. This was important. And I really appreciate all your time and your honesty. And I think that, we're going to move the conversation forward from here because of what you guys just said and did. So I appreciate it. I thank all you guys.
No, I appreciate
All
you.
right. Hey, thanks a lot. You got time to make them voters, but hey, like I say, you have the right not to vote. That's what it's all about. Hey, good job, man. All right, folks, for all of you watching online right now, tell me in the comments what you think. What did you hear? What struck you the most? What did you disagree with the most? You're part of this conversation as well, and it's not over from here. For Off the Air, we are now off the air.